We kick it off on Lost and Found. To the top right hand side, our blue Zerg play from Team Liquid. This is Snute. And he's going up against the red Zerg to the bottom left hand side. Give it up if you're cheering on Guru. What's up, everyone? Out in the chat, how are we all doing today? Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream so far, you can hit that follow button to see when we go live again in the future. And of course, from that point on, you can of course support us further as well. You can subscribe, you can donate, you can cheer. If you're a Twitch Prime user, don't forget you have that free Twitch Prime sub. We'd love to see it. But for now, we're into this ZvZ, and it is looking to be a hatch, gas, and pool to get things started in game number 1. Queen on the way up on both sides of the map. A couple of queens on the way up. Ling speed dropping down as well here from Snute, as we are going to be seeing the single overlord of Guru heading in towards the upper right hand side. Obviously both players will have this first overlord arriving. Confirming it's a hatchery first. Snute should be starting to pull his away, because obviously you don't want to be stuck around when the queen pops out, because then you would be able to just take this overlord down, and then that's obviously a massive loss from Snute's perspective. As we see, this drone from Guru comes over to the left-hand side, takes the third hatchery, gets that set up right there. So third hatchery coming into play, as we will see Ling speed again coming up on both sides of the map. Zergling speed will come forwards right now from Guru, so he's going to be able to come forwards with this and have a look to see what he's going to be able to get going for himself in the next few moments. A few more Lings of Snute going to be showing up as well, so we're going to be getting that ready to go in terms of a defense, and the third hatchery already on the way up from both sides. It's pretty much mirrored play from each other. Currently Guru is without a Baneling Nest though, so the Baneling Nest from Snute is going to be a little bit of a difference here between the two of them, but really the only one we're seeing at the moment is Snute. We'll also have a few extra drones before going into Zerglings, which means that Guru will just be a little bit behind on eco, and you can already see he's droning up behind what is the potential aggression here, so it's looking fairly reasonable in terms of what's going to be happening, as we do just have a few more Lings coming over to the left, and those Lings of Snute are going to be off and away out of there. Guru continues to push on in towards the upper right hand side. I mean, again, you may as well apply some pressure here, right? Double check. Snute did make enough units to make sure he's not getting away with nothing at all. Ling's going to come on over, and again, Snute does have the units, right? So the unit check is there. It's passed here by Snute, as we are going to be seeing the Rotron just currently on the way up. About halfway done here at the moment, and we do see an extractor coming down to the left side. More Lings of Snute going to be pushing on through the center as well. And we do see another Baneling of Snute currently just morphing on in. 16 Lings on the way up, and Rotron coming through from Guru also at the moment. So again, that Rotron finished up as well. Just going to be seeing more Zerglings coming down to the left-hand side. And actually going to turn around right here, try and get a little bit more damage done as well, picking up on a few more of those Lings as this Overlord continues to head down to the south. Sling Bane's been fairly uneventful, though. We haven't even really seen any Banes, and of course, that's partly due to the fact Guru didn't have a Baneling Nest of his own. He's gone straight in toward Roaches here, and as we do see Snute going into his own Rotron, he also has the Evo, and I feel like the Evolution Chamber is something which Guru is missing. As he makes more Overlords, it kind of feels like Guru's just going to go for this right now, and maybe try and end the game. It kind of feels weird, right? Because, okay, there's the Evo Chamber. It just felt like this Evo was a little bit late to come down right now. He is going to get to the Evo Chamber eventually, so Upgrades will be able to start his own lair on the way up as well. Snute yet to have a lair of his own also, so also something he has to look towards now, as we are going to be seeing these few Zerglings on the south side just going to be making their way across the map. And again, an attempt to attack here with Banelings. These Ling-focused attacks are not going to do anything at all. There's no way Guru is going to slip on by that many Banes. As you do see Roaches again, also on the way out from Snute. He had his Evo Chamber quite a while ago, but he's not really put it to use just yet. So yet to really utilize this Evolution Chamber. And as we do see more Zerglings gathering together, and they are going to be coming around in the center of the map, getting ready to keep on pushing in the next few moments. Couple of Ravagers on the way up here from Guru as well, going to be finishing up a Spine Crawler in between the two bases right now. A little bit more Ling and Bane also gathering up right here as we do see some more roaches showing up. And those few queens from Guru coming in at the front. They're going to try and target down a Balin or two, as it's actually Snute who's turned out to be kind of the aggressor at the moment, but he's way down on army supply. So let's see what he can get done. I mean, maybe if he's very reliant on these Balins doing a good amount of splash damage, or just looking for a run by like that. 9 drones, and he's already taking the upper hand in that one. We're going to see the Balins starting to come forwards now as well. Snoot's going to realize he doesn't have enough units to truly fight here. Snoot's still without the lair, by the way, so when +1 finishes, he can't start +2. He's also without roach speed, starting his lair now, but behind on those upgrades means that he's just going to have to take the 15 worker advantage that he's created. He's just going to have to wait at the moment for the next part of this. So Snute just going to have to sit back and play defensive, especially as, Guru gets his own roach speed, obviously, becomes a massive, well, something. So we are going to be seeing the Lings still just moving on around here. Guru is still going to try and keep on counter-attacking, continuously coming in towards the upper right side or so. You see +1 missile attack upgrade here from Snute is about to finish up, so he's going to have the upgrades to fight, but again, without the roach speed, it really feels kind of awkward because he can't really be aggressive, because if you go across the map, there's just no way for you to be able to then come back. So, see what comes of this then. He actually just throws down the Hydra's Den right away, potentially afraid that his opponent is actually going to be going in towards the Mutalisks. Hydra Den is almost always something that you kind of consider a lot faster nowadays in ZvZ than you used to, just simply because of the fact that, again, Mutalisk play is a little bit more popular, and even if you don't fully commit towards the Hydras, just having that option already there goes a massive way in case you need to start responding. Roaches and Zerglings going to be still gathered up on this side. More Roaches and Ravagers coming across the map as well at the moment, so just continue to see Guru be the aggressor, looking to put his roach speed into use here, but not going to find anything just yet. And the other reason you can get those Hydras very early is because the Lurker Den is also going to be something which, coming up in the earlier stages of the game, is a lot more common because Lurkers are pretty freaking good. We're just here from Guru, just going to be setting up, does get a Ravager to bile down that Overlord, eventually goes down. Took a little while, to be fair. He only had 1 or 2 Ravagers mixed in. Snute finally going to hit his roach speed, and as he hits that roach speed, of course, I mean, he gets his aggressive opportunities back in play, right? So everything we've been talking about suddenly becomes available once again, as we see just a handful more roaches of Snute coming out, and they are going to come over to this base as well. A couple of Zerglings head towards the upper left-hand side. We do see the Lurker Den on the way down in the main base as well. Infestation Pit is about halfway done. And the burrow upgrade as well on the natural also currently getting started. So getting that burrow on the natural here, also here. As you do see, still these Roaches and Ravagers pushing away a couple of Zerglings which came toward the front. Lurker Den on the way up on the left-hand side. Guru getting this set up for himself now. So it's going to be a little while away though. He's over a minute away from the Lurker Den being completed itself. And then he still has to go in towards, of course, the, beyond that, he has to go in towards the actual Lurkers. So once the Hydras are up, he then has to build the Lurkers too. And that takes 20 seconds. So really, Snute right now is looking pretty comfortable. His own Lurker's coming up at the moment here. He sees the 4th base of Guru is much more delayed than his own. And while Snute, he's about to get his +2 missiles, so upgrades are going to be dead even in this fight. Actually, Snute is missing a Carapace upgrade. Not sure how much that's really going to come into play as those Lurkers burrow, and Snute pulls back towards the Lurkers to let them do their fighting. More corrosive bars dropping, just warding Guru's army away. Don't come near me, says Snute. I don't want you here. There's the Hive on the way from Guru, something that Snute wasn't going for at that moment, but apparently he just gets like a telepathic signal like, aha, you're starting Hive, or so am I. Just gets that going at exactly the same time. So looking into, obviously, I mean, further upgrades are a possibility. The Vipers are very important as well when fighting against Lurkers. And that's maybe why Snute was not immediately going to be something that was something that was a thing there. But yeah, Vipers up against Lurkers just going to be a way to deal with it, and I think that's where both sides are kind of heading towards at the moment. As you will see, Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras gathering themselves up down to the bottom left side. Snute coming through the middle of the map, and he is going to be pushing all the way across to the left-hand side. for the moment, actually. He decides to pull back from the center. Well, just a passive game then, I guess, until I think, again, Hive finishes and Vipers come up into play. Another couple of Spore Crawlers, another few Spines coming on up. Getting set to go. Units going across the map here. A few Roaches from Snute going to burrow beneath this army and continue over to the left-hand side. So, continuing along right there. We're going to see some Spines poking away at the moment. And, well, one Roach goes down. Another Roach taking some hits. And we are going to be seeing a couple of Queens taking some damage as well. Roaches will burrow. As you do see the Lurkers just continue to come over. And again, I mean, this attempt from Snute to be aggressive hasn't done too much, but it does allow Snute to just take some control in the center of the map. Guru wasn't really contesting this anyways, but Snute now is in the position to maybe get something more done. He left his Lurkers at home defensively. We'll see what he can do here. Is a Lurker or two in the front, maybe looking a little bit scary. Maybe looking as though something he could have tried to make a pick away at right there. A few of these units just peel away off to the left-hand side. More creep tumors coming down. Snute wanting as much control as possible at the moment, it would seem. Continue to come into play as we see Roaches and Hydra still pushing forwards. Again, Imperial Bar doesn't really do too much just yet. Roaches going in towards the upper left-hand side, and Guru splitting his own army up a little bit as well, though it looks as though for now he's going to rejoin things together. It's this sort of stage which gets very awkward in the ZvZ because it is very stalematey in its just natural sort of, in its natural sort of demeanor. It's very difficult because neither player wants to push into the other, right? Snute also has mass spy crawlers up, which obviously goes a long way to helping out any sort of run-bys coming through over there. That's not going to happen. That's not going to be a thing. As we do have the Roaches from Guru still moving around the center. He has been a bit more aggressive with his Lurkers, whereas Snute definitely left his a bit more at home for the most part. As you are going to be seeing the Spire on the way up from both players. So Guru looking towards, with Hive up, of course, with Broodlords become the next real stage of this, as we are going to be seeing units pushing forwards here from Snute. But how much further forwards do you want to go? Because once the Lurkers come into play, you're not really going to want to try and do much else right there. And another changing going down, and again, just a battle of really two players who like to play the later stages. Guru really isn't actually that much of like an early or mid-game play. He does play it late. He does play these styles which go long, and that's why we see him a lot of the time in these scenarios where that is a thing, as we do have Lurkers here picking off another couple of changelings, and we will just be seeing Lurkers from Snute burrowing. Still pushing a bit further forwards now, so Snute finally getting aggressive himself, finally looking to try and get a bit more done here. Another Lurker burrows up, and we are going to be seeing a couple of corrosive bars coming down. Another Lurker is not quite going to go down here. Another couple of abducts forwards. Lurker will burrow once again. Roaches and Ravagers coming on through as well at the moment. Another little abduct coming forwards here. 15 minutes in game, and it really feels like it's been a very long time. 5k resource lost apiece. We just haven't really seen any massive fights. Look at this, for the last 5 minutes, the army size has been constant. There's been no dips down and remaxes or anything like that. We've really been without a large fight here for quite some time. His Snute's in on just a little bit of a better eco, and that's why his bank will look a little bit more comfortable at the moment as he actually pops up on top of some Hydras. Overseers here now, and that is actually a little bit of a loss on Snute. But honestly, probably looking to replace those Roaches with other units anyways, so he's probably not too upset about it. And there we go, 11, 13 Hydras and 2 Vipers are going to be the response from Snute right here to rebuild from that. To the top side, Roaches, Hydras going to be pushing up as well, going to be trying to push on forwards and push in towards this upper side base. Hatchery from Guru expanding down to the south side as well. A couple of Crypt Humans getting picked away at right away now. A Lurker or two getting pulled forwards as well, and we are going to see a few more corrosive bars continue to push those units away. Another Lurker again pulled back there, and Viper's going to get some abducts. He actually abducts his opponent's Vipers forwards, which means that they could potentially be picked off, and this is a little bit of a mess of a fight. There's not really any Lurkers involved on either side. Both players just sort of trade fairly simply there, and with Roach Hydra going down, a few Hydras getting some kills on Vipers too. Guru down to 2 Vipers now because of that, and Snute's still just sitting pretty solid up at 4. We're at this sort of position where we are going to be seeing these Vipers continue to work their way through an Evo Chamber, getting some more energy up, but Again, Broodlords are on the map, right? At least for Guru here. Snute has yet to build his own, but he does have the Great Aspire there, so he has that option available to him if he would like it as the game continues. So Broodlord's definitely an option, as we are going to be seeing this couple of Vipers continue to work their way through the hatchery, through the Spinecrawler. Again, just picking up some more energy. Roaches run by here. Again, wouldn't be surprised at this stage to just see Guru cleaning up supply for other units as well, of course. Get rid of these Roaches. Build more Hydras, Vipers, Broodlords, because that's the late game composition which you'll be generally aiming for. Snute coming forwards here with this entire army. Going all the way down towards the bottom left-hand side, we're going to be seeing these Hydras taking a little bit of damage. Overseers coming in. We are going to be seeing a couple of Spores, Spines getting taken down as Snute makes this push. Snute actually with a pretty scary push at the moment. You're going to see the Broodlords start dropping down here. Snute has to think about how he fights those. I mean, I think you just abduct them in, or a Parasitic Bomb. Interesting. Interesting way of dealing with this, potentially. He has a lot of the Parasitic Bombs dropped, so he gets a lot of those Broodlords low. Snute is going to remax on more Corruptors and Hydras. I guess because if he gets the Corruptors up, they can fight the Broodlords, and then you can go from there in terms of morphing them into Broodlords of your own, once you don't have to deal with your opponent's Broodlords. So, getting the Corruptors up, Snute will back away for a moment or so. He spent a lot of his bank here, but still has more gas, just a few minerals that he's missing in comparison to Guru, who actually went up to 72 drones somewhere along the way. So his income definitely started pretty recently. You can see actually that he was, Guru just took that income lead. So it's not been too long that Guru's had the income lead for, but it does just help him take a few more minerals in advantage over his opponent. +2 melee starts up from Snute in the natural expansion. Again, more Broods coming down to the south side, and a few Hydras underneath as well. We are going to be seeing the +2 flyer attack right now on the way on this Great Aspire, so continuing this as we're going to be seeing a few changes dropping down as well now. A couple of creep tumors are being picked away at as well, so Snute again making some progress along this left hand side. We're getting some long games today. Every game so far we're going to be heading towards that 20-minute marker, which is great to see as we do see Parasitic Bomb on the Corruptors, and Snute does take a little bit of a beating there and has to back away right now. Wait, England just scored? What the hell just happened? They weren't even in an attacking position. What's going on? Oh my god. Is this just a belter? What on earth was that? Alright, well, we have these Corruptors coming along through the top side, and we are going to be seeing this army of Snute continuing back down to the south. Going to be getting rid of another couple creep tumors right here, and creep continue to get picked away at the moment. Nice blinding cloud right there, as we are going to be seeing. Yeah, Hydras and Ravagers continue to push on through at the moment. Just continue to set this up. As we do have this Spinecrawler picked away at. I mean, this base of Guru going down. So this is a little bit of a shame right here. I mean, Guru losing some of his potential economy in this. It's becoming a very complex ZvZ. A nice abduct on a Viper here. Snute so good at just finding these little moments where you can just find a quick little bit of damage. We do see those Broodlords continuing their way up towards the upper right hand side, and again Hydras, Ravagers continue to gather themselves together. A couple of Vipers just getting their energy up here once again. More Lurkers continue to come on up here at the moment, and we do see Hydras still just coming up to the top side. We've got the +3 flyer attacks from Snute, and again, it's a late game scenario, so all of these upgrades are coming up. Snute continue to prioritize melee upgrades, means his own Broodlings are obviously going to be a little bit more valuable, a little bit more effective, although he doesn't actually have any Broodlords yet. But I can only imagine that's why he's investing into this, because at some stage he probably does aim to make Broodlords of his own. Alright, just still coming up to the top side here. Spores are pushing forwards a little bit from Snute as well, establishing a position. As we are going to be seeing the Corrosive Bars coming down, Spore Crawler taking some damage as we do see Broodlords firing away. And those Broodlings continue to be cleaned out. Again, Lurkers getting the job done in terms of cleaning out these broodlings at the moment. A couple of abducts forwards, and we will see a couple of broodlords taken down just like that. A Viper and Snute will get taken down in return, though. We do have Guru just sat here, just off to the side. Just to the south, there is going to be an extra base back up on running from Guru. He lost that one before, remember. As Guru's Broodlord army sits to the top, we see Snute heading down to the south here. He's going to find himself a couple of lurkers to kill, and honestly, these Hydras that are responding from Guru are not really enough. Snute runs into a lurker over here, though, and that's getting a little bit messy. But we'll see how it turns out, because he's going to continue pushing towards this base, but then he realizes that this base is back up, and he may as well just take advantage of that. Lurkers do a lot of damage, but he's able to pick it off, and again, I think at this stage he kind of knows that this army's probably dead, but again, Snute, he's got the bank to rebuild whatever he wants, and he is going to start bringing in Broodlords of his own right now, so starting to get that set up and ready, starting to get that established. Still actually Snute down on 140 supply, but only because, again, he's just sat thinking, well, what do I want to bring into play now? What do I want to start up next? Am I watching the World Cup at the same time as casting? Of course I am. It's the England game. It's the only game I actually watch, and it's one I have to cast. Like, I could have just not casted, you know, but I've got it on the side screen. You know, it's a little cheeky, I know, but, you know, it's the World Cup. It was this, or I wasn't going to cast, so, you know. Hey, we only have 25 minutes left. And to be fair, these games are pretty good as well anyways. I mean, this set of Broodlords continue to drop on down. Broodlings, as these spines are taking one heck of a beating as well. And we've seen a lot of spines getting picked away at right there as, again, Snute just breaks through this top side. Lurker's going to work their way through this space. And again, Snute just seems to be in such full control at the moment. As we are going to have the Broods still pressing themselves forwards here. Couple of spores setting up. I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, Guru, okay, he holds this base, he's trying to expand down here, but again, he just lost this base. Fair enough, Snute doesn't have this base either, but Snute's not the one that immediately needs bases. I mean, we're talking about a 5k, 2.5k bank, while Guru has nothing to work with at all. Snute just takes one even trade, he can rebuild, and Guru can't to the same extent, so then, you know, this really is looking to be a Snute-based game in this first game of this series. Quarterfinals here in the GO4SC2 Sundays, of course, guys. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream, to drop that follow on the channel. We do try and cast here every single day. As a heads up, tomorrow is a double cast. We do have our Invitational, WardiTV Invitational number 4, Group D tomorrow morning, or afternoon. 1 PM CEST, we get that started. And then, of course, in the evening, our WardiTV. Are you ready for Summer Group A, featuring Snute, True, and others? We do see a big fight coming down here. Parasitic bombs going down all over the place. I don't even really know what's happening, but I think Snute has the upper hand. Pushing forwards, he could maybe get rid of these Vipers. He gets rid of one of them, and he still has a few Brewers, but there's so many more Broodlords for his opponent. Snute will back away from this, but he already seems to have reinforcements on the way, and again, with the money that he has, he's able to re-max, and Guru sits at about 160 supply. As he spends a bit more money, it's 180 supply, but it's still not quite maxed out, and you can see that Snute is starting to take those edges and those smaller advantages in this. Again, just going to be seeing a couple of these Vipers consuming away on this evolution chamber. Top left-hand side, hatchery is set up, and a few lurkers are just going to be set here. This time it's Snute's base, though, and Snute feeling as though the action is happening on the top, and so this base is easier to defend than elsewhere, but he's not quite in position to stop the Broodlords, although the Broodlords not wanting to commit too far themselves because his Guru's own army is not quite ready for a fight, so he's not going to contest it any further. As you will see, the Corruptors already flying forwards, looking to see what they can do. Parasitic Bomb, and one of the Broodlords taken away. Splash damage is so huge on those Parasitic Bombs. It's really insane how much can be done in those scenarios. It's going to be seeing the Roaches and Hydras able to get another little pick off right there. More units coming down to the south side. Going to see a Brine Cloud coming down at the moment as we do see Snute will win this fight. A few Roaches in front of the Hydras. He wins that every time. He gets a couple of Abducts on Vipers too, so he gets 2 kills. And again, well, there's some counter Abducts actually, so Snute will lose a Viper or 2 of his own. In fact, all 3 out of the ones that had energy left. This army here from Guru continue to gather together in the center. 13 roaches on the way up. 3 vipers on the way right now. Can I show the units lost tab? No. I don't like it. Here you go. It's not really been that crazy. For such a long game, 13 to 9 vipers is probably the craziest thing. 60 hydras, yeah. I mean, it's not nothing, right? But for 26 minutes, I think it looks fairly regular. Because, honestly, the first 15 minutes of this game was super passive. Neither player really took that massive fight. And it was only until very recently we started to see these dips, downs in armies and rebuilding. Again, before now, we haven't really seen much of that at all, as we are going to be seeing. Roaches and Hydras pushing forwards. Hydras in front on their own. Going to be taking a little bit of a beating as well as Corruptors coming through too. A couple of Vipers in some trouble here, as we are going to be seeing Spines getting picked away at as well. And he continues to move back down towards the lower right side. Actually turns around, and again, it's just the Hydras. When they don't have the Roaches in front of them, they just die so quickly, and right now, there isn't really enough anti-air to properly stop these Corruptors, it seems, and so the Broodlords continue to drop for a little while, but actually, in the end, the pure Broodlings on the ground are pushing this back, and a few Hydras will get underneath these Broodlords, and they did pick away at the Corruptor numbers. So Snute is pushed back again by Guru, but he is once more still the player with money in the bank. Broodlords coming all the way over to the right-hand side, so we are going to be seeing these few Roaches and Hydras in a little bit of trouble. There's those couple of Overseers heading back up to the top side as well. Broodlords here from Guru. Continue to move around as we do see Lings will run on in over to the left-hand side here. Hatchery going to take some damage as well. Spire and a Greater Spire going to be in a little bit of trouble. And I mean, just in general here, Snute is continuing to slowly pick his way through Guru as this game continues. As you are going to be seeing, the Lings are actually pretty difficult to stop. They kill things so quickly here, and again, well, some Lings down to this bottom right side would be great, although I guess, that said, we do have these 3 Lurkers, which are just sat there waiting to defend, so maybe this space, though, nothing defending here. There's lots of options for these Zerglings, and we'll see what they can get done right now. As we do have the Lings on their way down. Yes, the Lurkers are going to make it difficult to do much over here, though, and Snute should see that. I wonder if he tries to dive this base instead, especially if he sees his opponent in the top left, and Snute's base up here has some Lurkers on it to defend initially, but that's not going to last forever. If the Overseer's overhead, he is starting to pick his way through this, although now the Overseer's a bit too far away, and Guru is not able to see these Lurkers for a lot longer than he should have been. That's a little bit of a shame right now, as we see the Corruptors trying to hunt down the Broodlords. They don't quite find it just yet, though. Going to be seeing the Roaches and Hydras to the top of Corruptors overhead as well, still gathering together. A few Lurkers here from Snute continuing to fight, and we are going to be seeing Lings continue to come on in. I mean, these Lurkers going to get picked off. Lightning Cloud comes down, and the Ling is fully surrounded, able to get the Lurkers. It's kind of dangerous because those Lings can melt very quickly. And Snute, again, he's introducing more Lings into his army, and there's a reason for that. Because at this stage, the gases are mining out, and there's only so much gas left on the map. And if he produces pure Roach Hydra, he is going to end up in this point and hold that fort. I mean, Corruptors continue to fight here. Okay, we're going to see a back way. But if you continue to produce pure units that always cost gas, you're going to run out of gas, and then you're going to have a massive mineral bank. And at that point, Lings alone are not going to do a lot. But introducing Lings in your army, while there's other parts of your army here as well, you know, that's the sort of situation where... the Lings are still going to find some value. Whereas if it's just Lings on their own a little bit later on, that same sort of value is really just not quite going to be there. So, yeah, it's really a nice little setup here. As you do see, Guru splitting up his units just a little bit. It's a nice little setup, just introducing the Lings already, getting those on the way. I mean, Guru doesn't have a similar issue because he's got many more of his bases to mine because he's been just denied bases multiple times over. We are 30 minutes into this game. One of the ZvZ guys has been quite the back and forth, to say the least. Very passive to start things off, but we've been seeing some good trades in the center. Still feels like Snute has full control of this, as we are going to be seeing the Roaches and Hydras coming back up to the top as well. Roaches and Hydras push in. We are going to be seeing these units getting picked away at. You see the Hydra's picked off as well right now, and the Spine Crawler takes some damage as well. Some spores being pushed away at here. At the same time, Snoot's on the bottom right-hand side, so at the moment it looks as though this could be a base for a base. Snoot's starting to pull some units over. He doesn't have much on the ground is his issue. In fact, what does Snute have on the ground at this point in time? One Roach? 18 Hydras. Snute really doesn't have a ground army at all at the moment. Builds 28 more Roaches, and I like that as well because he has been really winning a couple of fights because of the Roaches in front of the Hydras. Well, obviously, sometimes the lack of Hydras is a little bit painful, as we do see Roaches and Hydras pushing on here for Snute. Spine's taking some damage. Broodlords continue to come along as well. Spine's still pushing up here from Snute, going to be able to keep on burrowing. Just relocating as he's realizing that this base is going to go down. I don't think he should be too upset about that. I mean, it's fully mined out. Space on the bottom right is what he wants to push into, if anything. The fact Snute keeps top left up, though, means he still has somewhat of a healthy income. How much gas is left here on this map? 1800 plus 2400. So we're on about another 4000 gas for Snute, so it's still quite a bit for the moment. It's going to take another 10 minutes or so before we're really completely out of gas in this. Christian Hydras coming across here, and they will be looking to try and do a little bit of something here, Guru. It's the next big fight, as we do see already. Abducts coming forwards on the Broodlords. They're brought forwards. Hydra's not able to really kill them off just yet, though, as Snute is having some trouble. His Spore Crawler is actually helping out. The Corruptors, okay, get on top of the Broodlords now. That's important. Get rid of those, and then he will overwhelm on the ground, it seems. As we do have the Overseers taking some hits as well. So Overseers taking some shots. And, yeah, just going to be seeing this army continue to come down to the south side. Feels like Snoot's got this now. I mean, as the Remax comes in from Guru, is it even really a Remax? Not quite. As we're going to be seeing these units going to poke their way through this hatchery. So hatchery taking some hits at the moment now. Will go down, and we do have Corruptors on the right-hand side going to be pulling away as well. Another couple of Hydralists on the way up. Snute. I mean, at this stage as well, he could probably throw away a few drones because he doesn't actually have enough mineral patches to put all of his drones on anymore. They just don't exist on the map. Hatchery on the way up right now. Guru replaces this base that was just recently taken down by a small run-by. Snute, 200 supply, money still rolling on in. Guru, 50 army down, and the next fight should be a lot more decisive than what we've seen so far. As we do see the couple of queens are set themselves up. And here you go, coming down the south side. So a large army getting ready to push on into whatever possible. Ducked on a lurker, and we are going to be seeing these Hydras try and push on forwards here. Spine Crawler is actually in this forward position at the moment. They are going to take some damage. They go down pretty quickly. Hydras are going to be taking some shots once again. Snute just again has so much right now. I'm surprised he's so afraid to push in, but I guess as well at the same time, does he really need to? Not necessarily. As these Spore Crawlers continue to set themselves up. A couple of Corruptors coming down towards the bottom right here, and we are going to be having Zerglings still just on the way at the moment. Again, Snute can't really make much other than Zerglings at the moment here. And it's coming in across over the left side. As he runs on down, we are going to be seeing him pushing in towards this base, pushing in towards this hatchery. Gets a surround on the evolution chamber. He has even, again, pulled some drones across because at this stage, what else are you going to do? This is nice to me as Guru sends a few units just to go and deal with this. It gives Snute the ability to get some positioning here once again. And he's going to be able to push on through. He's going to be able to work his way through a few of these Hydralisks. Just again trying to see what's up as we do see a couple of Hydras taking some hits. in the main base. Still drones just going at it. Drones are actually going to start killing this spawning pool in a moment or two. Going to be able to go for something here, as we will see some extra workers going down. Still roaches and hydras of Snute's able to push forwards here at the moment. Six drones down in recent times from Snute. I don't think he really cares. Again, he doesn't have anywhere else to put them. He can't really mine from them at all. A few more lings popping out right now. Hydralist on the way up here from Guru as well. Just pulling back. We have got ourselves Snute going all the way up to the top side. Movement around all over the place here. 10 hydras against 5 on the way up in production. 7 roaches as well. Snute's still maxing out. Guru really has not much left at all. I mean, again, after a fight here, he's not going to have any sort of reproduction. Blinding Cloud's working wonders for Snute here to start. His Ling's trying to get a bit of a surround as well. And that's why those melee upgrades also come into play that he got much earlier in this game. Snute's been planning this long game out for a long while. And again, another fight that goes very one-sidedly in Snute's favor. And Snute is again just winning fight after fight after fight. Almost 40 minutes in this game, which means we really are almost mined out right now. 600 gas left on these extractors. These extractors, well, 600 here. And that's about it. So 1200 gas left for Snute. He has 3000 gas to play with. Guru, he has a lot of gas to mine, but that's the issue. He has, well, actually, he doesn't even have that much to mine. I guess Snute had this base for a while as well, which actually was quite something for him. You're all going to be seeing these units continue to come over to the right side here. A couple of creep tumors are being picked away at and pushing forwards. Roaches and hydras. Nice blinding cloud. Some hydras getting caught up in that. We will see Spore Crawler going down. Still pressing forward. We're going to see a couple more units being picked away at. Roaches and hydras just going at it right now. Blinding clouds from Snute controlling this area. And Guru will lose his last real mining base here. As we do see Snute also still has the numbers, right? Blind Cloud still controlling things. He's going to back away for a moment, but then he drops another Blind Cloud and he gets another 3 pickoffs. So he gets a few more pickoffs right there. In the end, Guru taps out. And that is going to be GG in game number 1. Snute takes it just before. Let's go in game and let's see what's going to happen as we start down to the bottom right-hand side of the map. Up 1-0 after 40 minutes of action in game number 1. This is our Blue Zerg player. This is Team Liquid Snute. And to the upper left-hand side, our red Zerg player is Guru. Setting up for game number 2 of this series as we get this rolling, as we get this underway. We are looking to see what's going to be happening here. As Guru is, well, is he going to be looking for a long game like that again? Because obviously in the end it didn't quite work out for him. As we do have this first Overlord heading down towards the bottom right-hand side. Natural expansion from Snute currently starting up right here, so that's getting ready to go. As we do see the couple of drones on the way up on each side. Again, Hatchet on the way up a piece right now as well. We are going to be seeing these Overlords flying by each other in the next couple of moments, so just going to fly on by, just going to be saying hello and doing that little bit of an Overlord cheek rub. Well, you rub my cheek, I rub yours. And I don't know, it seems weird to us, but hey, we're not Overlords, right? So, you know. We are going to be seeing this Overlord continue to be heading in towards the upper left side. Oof. It's going to be having the early game being played out here, of course, and looking to see what our players are going to be heading in for. Not quite sure what their current plans are, of course. Hatch Gaspol has had the last game started, and then 40 minutes later we finally found a victor. Is it going to be that much of an epic here once again? Well, of course, that's what we're looking to find out. If you're enjoying the stream today, guys, I will just take a minute to sell out after a long game like that last one. But if you are enjoying the games today, don't forget, first of all, most importantly, the follow button. See when we go live again in the future. See when we cast more StarCraft 2. Never miss a game. With that follow button, you'll have more chances to see when we're live. And, of course, catch more of our tournaments. If you want to support us further, of course, don't forget you can subscribe. Replay pack is currently available. All our previous replay packs are available for subscribers, and there's going to be a new one coming out in a few days' time. If you're a Twitch Prime user, don't forget you can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. That doesn't cost you anything at all, and it does go a long way to supporting the channel. It allows me to continue producing StarCraft 2 content full time. And it helps us to continue running our own events as well. We were talking about it earlier, but tomorrow we have a double header of WardiTV events. WardiTV Invitational number 4, Koreans in the morning or afternoon, while later on we do have the European tournament, which will feature Snute, True, DNS, Clem, and one more player who we're still yet to determine. That's coming up tomorrow evening. So a lot of StarCraft 2 coming your way tomorrow. Looking forward to all of that, and hopefully you guys are as well. Tuesday is our European Tournament playoffs as well. Wednesday I will be flying to Home Story Cup, and hopefully going to be seeing a bunch of you guys at Home Story Cup as well. So looking forward to all of that. Hopefully you guys are as well. Once we're back from Home Story Cup, it'll be about another week or so of StarCraft 2 on the stream before I head to Valencia for a few days before WCS, and then we come back and we head into the later stages of the summer StarCraft action. BNS will drop down here in a couple of moments too, so again that on the way, as we do see a few Zerglings heading down towards the lower right hand side. And we do just have the third hatchery from Snute just over halfway done already. A couple of Queens heading back towards the creep, where they are just going to be a little bit safer. A few Banelings on the way up right now from Snute. We do see that BNS is currently on the way up as well, about halfway done. Needs to be a little bit cautious of that one Baneling right there. Needs to just be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to go too far forwards. We do see Ling still gathering top right side. Third hatchery on the way up right now at the moment. And we do see the Baneling nest is just about to finish up here for Guru. So this time Guru doesn't bypass straight into roaches, by the way. And Snute, he doesn't really bypass straight into roaches either. He's going to go into the lair. Obviously the melee upgrade is going to be kind of interesting from Guru. He's going to be playing a pretty heavy Ling Bane style while Snute goes into this fairly quick lair. So intrigued to see how this ends up playing out, as we do see a couple of Lings already getting picked off. You see more Zerglings of Guru heading down towards the bottom right hand side, and we are going to be seeing this Queen a little bit surrounded but saved by the Banelings. Still in some trouble at the moment. His unit's out of position to actually defend against this, so this isn't looking too great for him. As you are going to see that single drone takes a couple of hits. We are going to have the Lings of Guru heading up in towards the main base, and some extra Zerglings just on the way out. And Snute continue to bring his Lings in over here, going to get a little bit more of a surround and be able to clean this up. So Snute cleans up in the end. He's still 9 workers ahead, by the way. Obviously, in some of these fights, it's a little bit tough for him because he doesn't have a melee upgrade like Guru does. So in Ling Bane versus Ling Bane, it's not a it's not amazingly set up for himself, as we do see these Lings are going to be heading up towards the upper side of the map. A few more Zerglings of Guru going to be heading around to the left-hand side as well, as you do see a Baneling going off and not much else going down. One more Baneling goes down here, and we're just going to see a few more Zerglings still heading up to the top. Couple of overlords off to the right-hand side, just watching this pathway from both players. And Snute is down by about, Snute is up by about 16 workers. He is still down that melee upgrade, which is making life a bit more difficult, but the Banes are carrying him through for the moment. Banes don't really care about melee. When Carapace finishes, that will change things up, but also by then, we are going to be seeing Snute with roaches on the map, so obviously that becomes a bit of a different scenario. In fact, those roaches already on their way up here. 2 Banes with 2 Banes. In the end, Snute was able to just about split this up, and as these Lings come into the main, Snute is also going to be cleaning him up right here. So, again, Snute taking some good fights. He's able to fight this, and, the Lings are actually trading pretty well against roaches, because +1 melee actually does help quite a bit there. But Snute is still going to have more roaches on the way up, and it really kind of, it ramps up. It's a little bit of an exponential sort of affair where, as more roaches come on the map, it becomes a much better scenario for the roach player than it does for the Ling Bane player. As the Spire finishes, or sorry, the lair finishes, I think we might be seeing a Spire here out of Guru. These Zerglings just going to work their way through this set of rocks, and they do knock those down to block things off just a little bit. Overlord here, just the upper right hand side. Trying to see what's going on. These Zerglings are going to be heading around in towards the middle as well. And they're going to be, again, looking to try and see what they can get up to in the next few moments. Going to hit this base, but already roaches here. Already clumping themselves together just a little bit. And we're going to see those roaches actually in a little bit more trouble than I thought they would be. These Zerglings are not going down very easily at all. That carpet is definitely helping them to survive. A few more roaches come on over here, and eventually Snute will be able to turn this away, but that took a little while. It really did. That was much scarier than it feels it should have been. Anyways, fourth base on the way up here from Guru as well. So both players are defending their fourth bases at the moment. I mean, it's just the mobility that Guru has on the map if the Zerglings right. Makes it very difficult for much else to happen. We do see the Spire is about to finish up from Guru as well on the natural, as a +2 melee starts up also. And then we do see the Meatless on the way through, so again, Snute going to have to deal with this. No Hydraless Den for him just yet here. Probably because he just sees Ling Bay and he hasn't really thought too much about the potential need for Lurkers for himself, so rather than the last game when he was heading into Lurkers, this game it's a little bit more intriguing as we do see those Lings continue to move around, wanting to try and see where they can get to. And I see these constant run-bys from Guru. I mean, they're going to start taking a toll on Snute, especially soon when these Mutas show up. He's going to lose a queen here as well. Actually, I think Snute's in some real trouble because there's absolutely nothing really in place to defend the Mutalisks. Snute already just lost the fourth base. He will see the Mutas though, and the Mutas are backing away for some reason. There's nothing actually going on over here. And Snute haven't seen the Mutalisks. Now he can start up queens, now he can start up Spore Crawlers. Now he can really start getting himself ready to go into this, as we are going to be seeing these few Zerglings gathering in towards the upper left-hand side. And, well, Roaches burrowed here from Snute, going to be heading off over to the left side of the map. Overlord picked off here as Snute is going to be obviously taking some hits from these Mutas. However, if the Muta's on the wrong side of the map and these Roaches burrowing across, Guru's own fourth base is actually in a lot of trouble. So that could be a little bit of an issue here as we see those Mutas still gathering together. Heading back over to the left hand side once again. Roaches still just gathered up. We will see those Mutas able to come in and pick off an Overlord nice and quickly. Roaches and queens from Snute going to come on over from the right side. We see these Roaches of Snute going to pop up, and they're going to come on in, and they are going to be able to work their way through a lot of these drones. A lot of drones starting to go down here as the Lings do run on through, and, well, again, a lot of the Zerglings being picked away at nice and quickly. Mutas do come back to start dealing with this. Honestly, this wasn't even that many drones. A few Roaches will try and burrow away in different directions. The Overseers do not follow both groups of Roaches, so Snute might be able to get back in with these few if he would like. He actually splits the Roaches up in all sorts of directions, popping up over here. He'll get a few more drones out of this still. And of course, all of this is just buying time, as we do see the Hydralisks continuing to come on up. Some more Hydras on the way out as these Roaches back in from Snute. He's actually working his way on the hatchery. Maybe should have just gone for drones, because obviously he can one-shot those. The hatchery unlikely to go down just to 4 Roaches. And as we are going to be seeing a few more drones being picked away at. Lings coming through, again, a few more kills. And we are going to be seeing the Roaches continue to gather together here from Snute off over to the left-hand side. Lings and Mutas coming down to the south side, and they are going to be trying to do a little bit more damage. But Guru in general is really doing a pretty great job of just continuing to defend here so far. Lings and Mutas continue to come down to the south then. Still trying to see what's up. Still trying to find openings, but as Lurk is coming to play, I started to get a little bit worried here for Guru. I guess he has a Lurker den of his own, so he's going to have his own Lurkers. He's just got so many Mutas that that his fighting army really isn't up to much at the moment. Mutas all the way in the upper right-hand side, coming down the right, going to kill an Overlord. Overlord goes down. We are just going to be seeing these Hydras turn into fight once again. Overlord taking some more damage, and it's going to be taken down. As you see those Zerglings of Guru still just moving around through the center of the map. A couple of Hydras going to be picked away at right here. Muta's coming in as well. And these Lurkers from Guru continue to come down to the south, try and see what's up. A couple of creep teamers picked off already. Still a defensive game from Snute, as it kind of has to be against the Mutalisks, but it does mean that Guru can get Lurkers into position a little bit here. Just getting those into position. We are going to be seeing the Lings trying to come forwards once again. Lurkers not quite hitting their marker just yet. More Lings, Mutas, and Lurkers coming up to the top side of the map. Hive on the way up here from Guru. in the main base, so he's already going in towards that, but not as fast as Snute is. Snute's already a little bit of a step ahead. Again, Viper's going to be a massive way of dealing with these lurkers here, and at the moment, we are seeing all the signs of heading in towards a nice, long game number 2, just as we had in game number 1. Lings, lurkers, and mutas once again trying to push on forwards, but so far unable to find very much. And a few more roaches coming through here. Pushing away a few more zerglings, mutas coming forwards as well, and able to get a nice little surround. So a few roaches here, unfortunately, from Snute going down, but otherwise at this point, I mean, this 5th base is set up on the far left-hand side. So 5th base is up, and that is obviously Guru's advantage, but he still has these mutas, which really means that his straight-up fighting army nowhere near as strong as Snute's. Snute with Infestors in play, Viper's coming into play, Lurker's already here for himself. You can see the Lurker trying to come around over here. Some roaches, they're going to pop up there, they do. Pop up and they burrow back down. Just gets that one quick Lurker kill. As we do have the rest of this army still also heading on up towards the other side of the map. A lot of Banelings going to start morphing in, a few Lurkers coming down. Groove Spines on the way up here as well, as we are going to see these roaches of Snute working their way through a couple of Spine Crawlers. So a couple of Spine Crawlers taking some damage. Lings and mutas on their way over, and we are going to be seeing these spines continue to drop right here. Finally, all of them going down, and Snute, again, he's at this sort of stage where he's already kind of trading up, trading away a few of these roaches. And as we are going to be seeing the Lurkers going to be coming on along. I mean, again, getting rid of some roaches, getting ready to rebuild, but he actually just rebuilt roaches, so maybe this wasn't exactly what he thought this was going to be. As you have mutas, lurkers, lings and banes continue to come along here. Queens and hydras trying to get themselves ready for a bit of a fight. You see a couple of transfusions coming down right now. So a little bit of an awkward spot, because he has to fight through a choke point into the lurkers here if he wants to go for this, but that's where the Vipers come into play, abducting lurkers into the army. Fungal Growths will need to come down here to grab those Mutalisks, which they do. First Fungal is huge. The Parasite Bomb, absolutely insane on the Mutalisks as well. And that's going to really push them back with very low hit points left on them. A bunch of mutas already popping away, and now Snute maybe feels as though he has enough to push across the map with, although again, a lot of his army is slow moving. Queens, they can't really come across the map. He is going to see the Corruptors here. There's 29 more Hydras will be building right now from Guru. Just turning around, going to pick their way through this Overlord. It goes down pretty quickly. More Queens just continuing their way towards the upper left-hand side here. +3 missile attack on the way right now from Snute, as well as the +3 Carapace, so that's still coming into play position, as you do have just a few more roaches coming over to the left-hand side. A bit of a larger fight, but I don't think this is one that Snute's really ready to take. He's outmassed in terms of Hydralisk numbers, and those roaches of his own are going to have to back away here in the end. He does get out with a good few of his Vipers, at least it doesn't lose those. That's very important, as we are going to be seeing the Corruptor does pick off one of those Vipers. Vipers going to start consuming, getting some of their energy back in play. Fungal Growth doesn't really land on anything. A couple of mutas and a couple of Overseers, nothing too substantial just yet. Another couple of Fungal Growths coming down. And we've seen one of those mutas picked off as well. They're still pressing forwards here, these roaches, chasing the Hydras away. Remember, the roaches, they trade so well against the Hydras when the Hydras don't have something to buffer them up, and that's where those Lings would come into play at the moment here. Snute going into a great Aspire of his own, getting ready for his own Broodlords if required. 17 minutes into Game 2 of this quarter-final. And this is turning out to be quite a ZvZ series in general. Now the Vipers are going to get the Blinding Clouds off, and all of those Lurkers are in trouble. They have to reposition. They are not doing anything right there, as moving off of creep is the opportunity for Guru to back away and re-siege his Lurkers. Still up at base, by the way, this entire time. Guru has been mining so much off of this. He's already had 1,000 plus gas from that base, and Snute's not being able to establish the 5th base for himself. Again, Guru's composition is naturally more mobile because of the Mutalisks originally, and because of that he did have the faster 5th base, but he has been, again, taking a couple of worse fights, so he sort of needed it in a lot of ways. Currently 17 workers ahead, so he really does have the big buffer in terms of economy, and has done for the last 10 minutes or so. +1 melee upgrade, finishing very soon in the natural. Overseer will set up into our detector mode, and we are going to be seeing roaches, lurkers, and hydras all gathered up down to the south side. +2 Flyer Carapace coming in on the Greater Spire as well. I mean, Snute just setting up for everything, of course, and I mean, that's something we saw in the last game. You know, all of the upgrades coming through, etc. But, sorry, it's actually not Snute, it's actually Guru with all the upgrades this time around, and even the melee upgrades as well coming into play here for himself. Very interesting. Couple of spores going down right away as you see a abduct on one of those Broodlords already. Another couple of abducts coming in as we're going to be seeing those lurkers continue to take some damage, and, well, 13 Corruptors on the way up. I mean, he needs an answer to the Broodlords, right? Same as in the last game. If you don't have an answer to those Broodlords, they are going to overrun in the skies. These are some nice abducts. He's taking advantage of them. And he is using the Spore Crawler as well just to help out against the Broodlord or two that he drags on in. A lot more lurkers on the way here as Guru starts to rebuild, but Snute's in a 40 army supply lead. As Snute's Corruptors come onto the map here, I do begin to be a little bit concerned. Guru's going into Banelings. What an interesting change-up of kind of way of playing this. Going into some Banelings now is really going to change things up right here, as we are going to be seeing Roaches and Hydras gathering up. A couple of Overseers still just set off to the side, and, well, some Banes going to start running forwards. They go down instantly again. I'm intrigued by the Banelings because I don't see what they're actually going to achieve. Nice abducts from Snute, finds again a whole bunch of value as he picks off multiple lurkers. And Guru is just losing so much as these Vipers go to town on that lurker count. Absolutely crazy as we do see the Vipers coming in towards the main base, and they'll get some more energy back. Ready for another round of that. I mean, you keep that up and Guru's not going to have any money left at all. Resources lost is amassing. Look at that, 25,000 and 19,000 Snute. The last few fights have been absolutely wonderful for him. As we do see a few changes coming on in here on each side. Well, Zergling's showing up as well, as we do see these Roaches of Snute are continuing to gather together. +3 melee, +3 missile attack upgrade here from Guru. Continue to come on along, and we do see those upgrades. Again, we'll be finishing very shortly. Broodlord's already dropping down, as we do see a couple of drones being picked away at 9 workers from Snute going down. He's happy for that, though. I think he wants to free up the supply for more units and get that large army supply like we saw before. Snute's still only on 4 bases, by the way. And that's the big issue. And so far, his efficiency means that this has been okay. But obviously, that doesn't stick around forever. As here we go, Parasitic Bomb on the Corruptors. I mean, just going to pull a bunch of units in here as well on the ground. Snute is winning out in the skies. Snute is winning out as well for the moment. There's only a couple of Broodlords left over here for Guru. The Snute rebuilding 15 Roaches, 20 Hydralisks. Last few Corruptors will actually start to go down here. And maybe another couple of Parasitic Bombs needed to really help their way along this. A couple of Queens are actually fighting in the skies as well. They got a Viper pick off towards the end there, as we do see these couple of Broodlings still going down. I feel like Snute's starting to get into trouble though again. He's running out of income. He's running out of bases to mine from. He needs another base, and Guru has kept himself in a position where, you know, the bases have been very limited for Snute. And if he keeps that up for just another couple of minutes, this could be an issue. A couple of Vipers going to be able to start consuming away on this hatchery. Just getting a little bit of energy in here now as more Hydras coming down the left side. 12 Hydralisks on the way up from the main base. We see 4 more Lurkers on the way, 4 more Broodlords on the way out. And there's a few Vipers consuming away at that hatchery. 5th base starts to come down. Snute finally looking towards some much needed economy. I'm sort of surprised he doesn't just try and take the gold top right. I mean, Guru hasn't been checking it, which I guess Snute doesn't know, but just because of the fact it feels like Snute could get away with taking it, because this fight is consistently happening on the bottom side of the map. And if nothing else, it might just distract Guru to go towards the upper right for a little while instead. Setting up right here, Snute is going to win out on this one. Or is he? The Hydras to the left side do continue to push through. And Guru is again starting to really wither away at this. Snute was stuck on 4 bases for so long here. As we do have these Hydras, these Overseers, they are just going to be, well, having to back away right now. But at the same time, Guru, again, he's had this bottom left base, he's had this base for an eternity, and even though the resources lost was in Snute's favor, it doesn't make up for being behind multiple bases now for multiple minutes. And it looks as though we're getting a game 3 out of this right here. As we are going to be seeing the spores just set up. You see some Roaches and Hydras pushing along to the left-hand side, and a Duck there brings the Broodlord forwards, gets the kill nice and quickly. Hydras and Roaches still pushing away, and we are going to be seeing a lot of Zerglings going down, but there's just too much from Guru. We're going to a game 3 in what is turning out to be a very long, as in the end it led to him just winning the game out on simply having more bases, even though Snute was able to find a lot more efficiency in his fights. To the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. This is Snute. And to the bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg player, it's Guru. Game 3 of the series, and we're going to be wrapping things up here in the quarterfinals very shortly. Let me have a quick peek at the bracket, guys, actually, see what else is happening. Currently, Clem's still waiting for either Braddock or Hate Me in his semi-final matchup, as Bly will be waiting for the winner of this series in the near future as well. So actually, a couple of the quarterfinals taking a little while so far, it seems, as we do have this hatchery dropping into play, and a couple of overlords are already from Snute and Guru moving through the center of the map. So they're going to be moving through the middle here, and another overlord of Snute also coming down the left-hand side, as you see Hatch, Gas, and Pool from Snute and from Guru. It's starting the same way as the last two games have started. The last two games have been pretty long. We could be in for another lengthy one here as we set up once again and get this rolling. Hatchery going to be finishing up in a few moments' time. Across the map, the same thing is going to be happening. So just a few moments of, you know, a few minutes to just catch back up on what's been happening, guys. Game 1, long 40-minute game. Game 2 was heading in the same direction, but Snute wasn't able to get enough bases up to kind of keep on producing. And despite, again, being very efficient with his trades, he found himself in a lot of trouble. Kind of got himself backed into a corner early. A corner which he was just never able to get himself out of, and that really did struggle. So we are going to be seeing a couple of Zerglings here from Snute. Going to be heading across. Link speed on the way up from both players at the moment here, so link speed coming through right now. And as link speed comes on through, we are going to be seeing a couple of drones on the way from Snute. Hatchery on the way out as well. Bane and Nest is dropping down here from Guru also. And we are going to be seeing a few more Zerglings just on the way out. And again, link speed. As that finishes, we'll start to see some Ling Bane action. Guru the first to drop behind just slightly, just because he doesn't have that third base, because Snute is delaying it by these Zerglings. So Snute already third hatchery down, and trying to delay this a little bit longer. Gets on top of the drone, blocks it at the very least. Forces that drone to dance around, become an extractor. And again, the more he delays this, look at this. Guru has 650 minerals in the bank. Money just not being spent here as he's distracted, trying to get this drone into a hatchery. Finally gets it going, and 10 workers now on the way up here from Guru. Some lings here from Snute. You're going to see a couple of them morphing in to the top side, and a couple more morphing in right now as well. Do you see the Rotron dropping down from Guru in the back of this mineral line, as well as the extractor comes down on the natural. I mean, the game just getting set up then and looking to see how this goes. Guru already going in towards the Rotron. He has got the Bane Nest, but still a very fast Rotron behind it. It does open up a couple of opportunities for maybe a bit more aggressive plays, you know, some more kind of Roach-based timings, maybe a Roach-Bane sort of attack here. Alternatively, he just continues to macro up. We'll see what he does. I mean, he's adding on more drones, so it already looks as though he's a bit more macro-focused. Still will be the first aggressor, as a few lings do arrive on the third base. A couple of lings already trying to go off on a Bane lane, but he actually pulls them back. Neither player losing much just yet, as we are going to be seeing the Zerglings here of Guru. Able to get a little bit of a surround, able to pick up a quick kill. Single Bane comes forward, gets picked off by the single Ling. Snute with good Ling Bane control so far. Going to send another Ling on towards a Bane lane here. Going to continue along with this for the moment, and we are going to be seeing the trade still going in Snute's favor, but he doesn't really have a lot ready to capitalize on this. What is interesting though is, again, Snute is drone. He's now starting +1 missiles. No Roach Roaring though. And there's the Roaches from Guru. And again, this starts to look like a bit of a all-in sort of play right now. 36 to 12 army supply. The Roaches are up. The Lings will look to reinforce. and Snute is starting to realize what's going on. He starts up a spine crawl on the natural immediately. He's got a lot of lings on the way up. No second spine. What's the plan here from Snute? As we do see a few lings run towards the third base. Snute, a lot more lings on the way out right now. Bane's on the way through. That's where the Banelings become very important from Guru, because if he can trade the ling, get some Banes to kill lings of Snute, well, that would be absolutely massive. As you see these couple of Banes coming in, and these free workers do go down already. Again, a couple of Banes leading the charge here. Roaches and Ravagers from Guru. Just going to be set up to the right-hand side. And we do see 7 Banelings on the way up right now, as we do see the Banes coming in. Here you go. This is it. The Banes are not ready yet from Guru, and that could be a bit of a disaster here as he's trying to reach his way over towards that. The lings of Snute gets around for a moment, but not too long, and I feel like Snute's still in some trouble. Spines are burrowing, his Roach Roaring is moments away, but he doesn't have the gas to morph in any Roaches anyways. And so Snute, I think, is really on the verge of a defeat right now, but he's holding on, and a couple of these Roaches are so low. He has some more Banes finishing up, more lings coming through, and now Roaches on the way, and it looks as though Guru's going to drone. And Snute's droning as well. He feels as though he's done this, but wow, this was extremely clutch, and honestly, until the last couple of moments, I didn't think this was actually Snute's hold at all. Lings come into the left-hand side here to clean up. As you see, Banes will commit onto those Roaches there, and will just help to finish those off. So this time, Snute, he has made the hold, and this now he will take the advantage because he will have +1 missile attack upgrade lead. Just a few more lings to deal with here, the last few units of his opponent. But again, with +1 missiles, this game becomes a lot easier for Snute now because he's the one that will hold the advantages moving forwards. So going to be seeing the spine just going to sit in the front of the natural, as we do see a couple more evolution chambers on the way up. Blair on the way out as well, about a quarter of the way done here to begin with. We do just see these lings continue to move around at the moment, so lings moving around the map allow on the way from both players. Snute is a little bit behind. Guru's starting double upgrades because of the fact that, I guess, why not? Play catch up in some ways. Snute can't start his +2 missiles because, of course, he doesn't have a lair. So all of this is time in which Guru can take a lead. I wonder if he cancels Carapace and just goes into +2 missiles. I mean, the advantage of Carapace is he does have lings on the map, and those would be... Well, actually, sorry, those are Guru's lings. Again, I'm really confused today. He has lings on the map, so he does have some use for Carapace. Obviously, it helps the Roaches as well, just not as much as +2 missiles would. Obviously, Carapace also finishes fastest too, so if he wants to be aggressive, then it could be the better way to go about things. Swingcrawler's going to be setting up here on the third base. Fourth base of Snute has to be cancelled, of course. Still just the lings of Guru giving him the mobility on the map, similar to the last game in some ways, allowing him to be kind of the controller here, denying his opponent from going up in towards more bases. Lings right now just continue to move around as the Roaches of Snute going to be able to get a few kills as well, picking away. +2 missile attack upgrade from Snute coming down, as we do see the Hydralisk Den coming up on the main base. And this hatchery setting up at the moment, as we do see Roaches and Zerglings starting to move down through the center of the map, or at least thinking about it for a moment or so. Roach be going to be finishing up very soon from Guru. And Snute still has the +2 missiles in advantage, so he did start a second Evo chamber to get that going for himself. His own fourth base going to come up in the center, as Guru will get the bottom left-hand side now instead. So a couple of different choices being made at the moment. More Zerglings here of Guru coming up the left-hand side, trying to see just what they can get up to in the next few moments. Just coming along here, and at this stage Guru looks as though he is going to be again holding on for now. That base is low, so I mean it's something he has to be cautious of moving forwards here. We are on Catalyst, and Catalyst has the tendency to become very split map favourable at certain stages, so we'll see if it becomes that. Lurkiden's already on the way from Snute, so we've already taken the first steps towards it here. There's 112 versus 112 army supply momentarily there. Snute just has everything in the lead, right? He has that +2 timing. He's going to have the Lurkiden timing. Snute has everything to play with at the moment, as we are going to be seeing a couple more Ravagers just on the way out now, just finishing morphing in. We are going to be seeing this army, I imagine, very soon pushing down across the map. Try and see what can come in next. Roaches here working their way through a set of rocks. So rocks will be picked away at, and again, Guru on the attack across towards the top side. Eleven more roaches on the way up right now from Snute as we see that Lurker Den is about to finish up. So again, Snute pretty much ready to go here as we'll see roaches and ravages breaking through the rocks to the left. We are going to be seeing more roaches coming to the side as well. Guru turns, gets ready for a bit of a fight here. Corrosive Bowels dropping down as well. His army of Snute begins to split away just a little bit. Yeah, another couple Corrosive Bowels coming into play right now. Muscular Augments on the way up here from Snute as well in the Hydro's Den. And still moving down through the center of the map. We see one roach picked up. Corrosive Bowels coming down as well, and these roaches still having to back away. Lurker's setting up once more. Another couple of Bowels. Ravages, some roaches taking some hits here again. Guru is in the issue of the fact that he doesn't have any lurkers, and so Snute does have that advantage in his hands here. And that ability to look pretty good. A couple more Corrosive Bowels. Lurker able to dodge it though. Snute not throwing away any units just yet. Obviously, if Snute's based in the forward 4th position, he is able to just sort of defend his base while very simply being pretty much consistently ready to go in for an attack. It looks as though Snute is kind of ready to go for this. +2 missiles just finished up from Guru, and +2 Carapace is not far away from Guru either, so he might be able to take this fight with an upgrade lead at some point. Snute's going to catch a lot of units though as Guru tries to back away, and that's the power of this surround right now. As Guru has to remax on 22 roaches, Snute has only built 8 Hydras and is still sitting maxed out. His lurkers were still moving their way forwards towards this fight as well. Well, it looks as though they've... Where are the lurkers? They've disappeared, and now I can't even find the army. The lurkers seem to have been, I don't know, disregarded? I have no idea where they've gone. Did they go down for Snute? Wow, he actually lost them. I didn't see that happening at all, even though I was watching the fight. It's kind of crazy. You do see the roaches, Hydras, Ravagers continue to set up. We're going to be seeing the army here of Snute just gathering together. Moving back up the left. Burrow, Tunneling Claws, something we've seen Snute using in both of the games before already. As you see that hive also on its way up, about 60% of the way done and continuing on forwards. So that's still coming up right now. Again, hive means that Snute just does have all the timing advantages here. Lurkers now on the way here from Guru. He has a couple in the front. Corrosive Bowels should force them to unburrow, which means Snute can continue fighting for a couple more moments. As Snute pushes forward, he wants to target down the Lurkers. He gets one, he'll get 2. Both Lurkers killed, but Snute's lost a lot in the process. He kills another Lurker that's just finished morphing in. He's at that point where he just has to back away from this now. He does have a lot of damage output in this army with the amount of Hydras and Ravagers. But maybe he just needs a few more roaches to be able to protect, especially from some of those shots coming in at the front. Army backs away over to the right hand side here, and we are going to be seeing a couple of the Hydras continue to gather together. Snute rebuilding here, remaxing, and getting himself ready for another engagement, I imagine, in the very, very near future. We're going to be seeing another Viper just on the way up here from Snute. +3 Carapace, +3 missiles, adaptive talons. Again, if you want to name advantages, everything right now still lies in Snute's favor. Guru now has to try and establish the forward base, while Snute can take the easier to hold top right hand base as well, so getting that set up and ready to go. Army gathered up in the center. Lurkers may want to try and reposition themselves here very soon. 4 Vipers on the way up, as we do have roaches and Hydras moving around on the left. Hatchery just over halfway done at the moment, and we are going to be seeing this army of Snute gathering up in the center, going to try and split away just slightly a bit, I imagine. A little bit again, we're having these games where suddenly Snute and Guru become very passive against each other and decide to really take their time before continuing on. Some changelings going to move forwards themselves right now. Hydras and roaches heading in towards the upper right hand side. Spire on the way down here from Guru on the 3rd base, of course. Again, that's set up and ready to go. And just getting that rolling here. Obviously, it's a bit of a switch from Guru and Hive Tech up. Well, we've seen it before in this series, believe it or not. It's probably going to be those Broodlords once again. We've seen it many times over. It's been absolutely insane. But these games keep going this way. I guess two styles, they just clash and head naturally in towards the late game, it seems here. As you will have the units moving back over towards the center. Lurker drop in the main base from Guru. This is a bit different. This is something we haven't seen before. Obviously, he has these Vipers here to kind of abduct these Lurkers out of position and out of the ground, so that's looking pretty reasonable at the moment. He will be able to clean these up. So in the end, that doesn't do a lot, but it does distract Snute, right? And it does allow Guru to now push through the center of the map. So Snute coming into the middle now to try and retake this position, as Guru is already here. Becomes a bit of an awkward fight. There's a couple of Lurkers of Guru very far in the back, though. Corrosive Bars will have to force him backwards. Here come the Blinding Clouds, and that means Guru's army's not going to be able to do a lot. The Lurks are all abducted. Suddenly, Snute's turning this around, and Guru has just lost a massive amount in the center. It took a little while for Snute to get here, and his base took a little bit of a beating. Not much, though. In the end, this is going to be pretty much an entire cleanup. A couple of Ravagers actually left alone despite the abducts. As Snute pulls back, he'll get some more energy on these Vipers, but he's looking good to take this game free and this series at the moment. 21 more Hydralisks on the way out here. Snute is just pushing on forwards. Those Lurkers aren't ready for Guru either, so if Snute goes in right now, this is going to spell trouble for Guru. He'll burrow the Lurkers here. The Overseer is just a bit off to the side. He needs to get the spores so the Overseer can come in safely. He already has the position that he needs, though, and as the Vipers rejoin the fight in a few moments, I imagine, with energy back on them, you can only imagine that this is probably going to be the end of those Lurkers. This hatchery is going to fall, and so Guru at the very least is going to be set back to 4 bases. As we are going to see these couple of Lurkers on their way over to the left side. Hydra's getting a good shot off there to begin with, the Lurkers helping too. Where are those Vipers of Snute? They're over in the main base. I don't know what they are doing. Trying to get them all the way up to full energy, I guess, but it's been taking a very long time, it seems. As we are going to be seeing the Roaches and Hydras coming across in towards the center. Plus 3 Carapace finishing up right now. Another couple of Vipers on the way out. Here we go, Snute back through the center. Vipers are going to come along down to the south side as well. Another Changeling just dropping down here from Guru's. Still will find a couple Lurkers. I mean, not difficult to clean those up as the Vipers come forwards. They'll get the abducts. And Snute marches onwards with a large army. A large bank. Everything he needs to clean up this game. Number 3. And send himself through to the semi-finals here today. Another Roach at the front taking a bit of damage. Guru in the end taps out without another fight. Snute will take the series 2-1.